Hello everybody, this is Dr. Kevin Connors and I'm going to share with you on this very short video on what we look at with genetics, what we call a genetic review. What is a genetic review? Why we do it? How can it be helpful for people? I understand this is not the most professionally done video. I'm doing this on a Zoom call, which we will use also when we do a genetic review. And I made a quickie slide presentation to help you understand it. Um, we want to look at your genetics, but understand if you watch my other videos, or some of them at least, you'll see that genetics aren't everything. Matter of fact, it's a small piece. It's the epigenetic things that happen to you, the environmental things, the exposure to toxins, the chemicals that you're exposed to in your environment, your exposure to Lyme, your mental state, that all affect your genetics. But if we're starting with a base point of genetics, genetics can kind of be like our foundation. And if our foundation is a little bit crumbly that we inherited from our parents, then you try to build a large house on that. It can affect the structure. So it's very helpful to look at a person's genetics correctly. Not that we're treating the SNP defects, but that we look at the SNP defects and say, wow, here's a defect in a detox pathway that we may want to support before we start a detox. And that's what we want to look at. The problem is that people get their 23andMe data back, and if you looked at the raw data, you have hundreds of thousands of gene SNPs to look at. How do I know what they are? It's very confusing. We've gotten contact with people that have contacted us and said, well, this is what I got back from my doctor that looked at my genes, this 2-page report that shows some gene SNPs, and that just doesn't cut it. It really doesn't help. There's hundreds of thousands of gene SNPs that are read by your 23andMe, even the version 5 that is being done now, that if you mine that data can be very helpful. Our report, for instance, I'm sharing my whole screen. This is a sample patient here. It separates the genes into different families. These are different families of genes. And then it shows whether we have no defect, a single allele, or a double allele defect on that gene. And our report, just the initial report, is about 40 pages long. And then the other specific reports are 3 to 10 pages long each. So you're really getting nearly 100 pages of a report. And still, even at that, it's like, oh, this is too confusing. I don't know what's going on. Well, there is data here that talks about, for instance, this is the NRF2 gene that's very important with detoxification. And the sample patient has a number of defects on their NRF2 and their KEAP1 genes. Those are very important genes with detoxification. And defects like this is going to affect this person's ability to detox different things that they're exposed to. Well, this explains it right here, but we're not just throwing this at you and printing this out for you to try to figure it out. We're spending, 30 to 60 to 90 minutes on the phone going over the most pertinent and important gene defects that you have that may be affecting your health. But just to look at the genes is not, to me, adequate enough. We need to get a better picture on your history. So that's what we're going to look at. So your report is going to show gene families like this and defects that may be affecting different pieces of your health. But in order for us to really understand that, we need to look at your health. So what we do with the genetic review, yes, it includes a 60+ minute consult with one of our certified genetic coaches to go over your 23andMe data. But we start with a medical history, what we call a case review. And through that case review, we get your health history, what your current concerns are, what your needs are, what your goals in life are as far as your health goes, what things you've done already, some supplements that you're taking, and nutritional protocols you've done, or some medications you're on that can affect your health. We have to look at the big picture, and as far as we can get up in space and look at the bigger picture, I think we can get a better readout. We also give you the genetic report printed out. We email that to you too, so that you can look at it on your free time too. And you have access to all our videos. Goodness sakes, I have like 300 videos on YouTube. Probably 100 of them just on genetics. So make sure you get a chance to take a peek at some of those, not to overwhelm you at all. But then we also give you a personalized plan. We include diet, we include lifestyle, we include specific supplementation, and understand our belief is less is more. So we're not going to throw a ton of supplements at you. And you got to go slow, one by one. And that's why we have follow-up consults available for a very reasonable fee also anytime with the person that your genetic coach that is going over this with you. So we try to be as thorough as possible. We try to take as big a picture as possible and really help you. So understand the process. So we need you to complete the 23andMe test because that's where we mine the data from. If you haven't done that already, make sure that you go on www.23andme.com and you just order it right from them. I know you can get it from Amazon now. You can get it from Walmart or Target or some other stores as well. Get that sent in. It's a saliva test. And then they will inform you, because it's your test, not us, when it's completed. And when it is completed, we need to get your username and password, your 23andMe username and password from you so that we can pull off the raw data file, put it into our software, and be able to go over it with a genetic review with you. Now, our fees are, our case review, that's where we get your complete history, is $199. That lasts about 30 plus minutes, usually a little bit more than that. And then your genetic review is $450, and that lasts at least an hour. So if you've already completed your 23andMe, just jump to step 3 and you can schedule your case review. Now go online and click on our online form, which gives us a good history of you. Add any other history or medical reports that you have, email those to us as well. We want to take a peek at those. So if you've already done some testing with some other doctors, you've done some blood work, anything in the last 6 months would be valuable to us. Anything older than that, you might as well hang on to. Get that to us in an email form too. The case reviews are all done over the phone. The genetic reviews are done over the same platform that I'm making this video. It's called a Zoom video, but we send you a Zoom link, and then you get on that so we can share our screen, just like I'm sharing my screen with you right now. We will actually be doing just that. If this was your genetics, we'd be literally going to your carnitine genes are and then explaining what your carnitine genes do. This has to do with energy formation and getting fatty acids into the cell, and we'd explain that. So, and explain some dietary things that could help a person that has defects like this. Because you always want to try to make changes in your life through diet first, and then maybe add some supplementation that can be beneficial. But we'd literally be going gene family by gene family over this profile with you so you can see how long this is, and that can take some time. So best sometimes even have a friend or family member with you as you go over it so you can jot some things down. But then we also give you a complete copy of this and a printout on our recommendation. So it's very thorough. You'll be very happy with it. Everybody has been. You start out by making a phone call. If you're watching this video and you're not on our website, this is the website that it comes from. So go to our Connors Clinic website. Also on the same page that this is at the bottom of the page are some very helpful videos to get you started to understand the process. This is part of my staff right here. We all love you and care for you. You will sense that from your first phone call. All right. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.